So today my guests are Marshall and Theresa Suplee. Um, they, they head up the young marrieds at church, and Marshall is one of the deacons. So welcome, guys. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having us.
We're happy to be here.
Glad to be on the air with you, Bill.
Excellent. So you guys have raised three amazing kids, and then you've had a plethora of foreign exchange students. So Kevin is currently living with you now.
Yes, he is.
How has this affected you guys? How's this virus affected you guys at all?
We probably should have known that was going to be your first question. Maybe we would have. I feel in some ways that it has affected us maybe less than other people, in that although I do still have a student here, he is very capable and very independent. And so he's obviously doing his own work. And it's changed for us in that our college senior, Dylan, has moved home earlier than we expected, which to us is great. We're loving him, but we do feel obviously so badly that his last semester was really a bust. But I guess the thing that changed the most for me is that I like to be home, and I'm home, and now everybody's home too.
Cool. Right. Yeah. What's interesting is the household is very full on the days that I'm working from home.
Yeah.
Used to it being empty, and so now we're all just kind of taking a room. But it seems like it's working out well. We're all getting along still, so that's a good thing.
That is good.
And yes, I couldn't imagine parents who all of a sudden have their kids at home and they're working from home, and their kids are having to homeschool where they're not used to it. I just could not fathom what that must be like. That would be a huge change in their life for the kids and the parents. And then just, of course, being used to everyone in the household at the same time and getting along. But so far, so good. We're working out okay here.
Excellent. So since you guys are all at home, how much Mandarin have you learned? No, none?
You would think that would be right up there, but instead,
we have found actually that Kevin has spent several hours actually at the table doing his schoolwork. And something that he's also been doing is connecting with other students so that he can do his homework and work with each other on questions, problems,
your
and
son
work together.
being one of them.
That is true.
So yeah.
Any of his authentic Chinese meals for you at all?
Not yet.
Kevin's
We've talked about that.
Kevin makes eggs.
Okay, eggs.
But he does love American food, which is lucky for us because that's basically what we serve around here.
Okay, good. Now, he's made stuff for you in the past, though, right? Like Chinese dishes?
Not for us yet that I'm aware of, no.
No?
Oh, no? Wow.
Has he cooked for you?
No.
He has had us do some taste tests of some things that he's made for himself.
Okay. Well,
you might want to try this, and we've done that.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, this is a section where we call deep dive now, where I actually go back and I go a little deep dive into the questions. So here we go. So this is from Marshall.
Okay.
So you used to room in college with a guy from DC Talk who stole your underwear. Is this accurate?
Well, the underwear part of it, I'm not quite sure about. I don't recall that actually happening.
Allegedly, so, according to his mother.
What I can say is there was a slight mix-up in our luggage, and so I ended up with his luggage, and he ended up with my luggage. But that just so happened to be that we both had the exact same luggage, so I'm going to let that one slide.
Fair enough. So now, another thing I learned about you is that there's a wall in your basement where there's a lot of signatures of people.
Oh, yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I've been over your house. How come my signature's not on there?
All right, is this for Marshall?
This is for both of you. This is
Oh, okay.
me being angry, actually.
Would it make you feel better if I told you that I don't think anybody under the age of 25 has ever signed their name to our basement wall? Would that make you feel better?
I think I'm still going to sign it the next time.
Okay.
Okay, and you're welcome to. Your kids have signed it.
Yeah, I know. That's
Right.
how I found out.
That's right.
That's my crack research department.
If you make it to our basement, we'll let you sign the wall.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll find a little corner for you.
Fair enough. So let's go a little bit. How did you two meet?
Okay, so
First time or second time?
the first time Marshall and I met, we were freshmen at Baptist High.
Okay.
And Marshall came from Delran High School, and I had grown up going to Christian school. So Marshall came. So if any of you have ever gone to a small Christian school, you know that when a new person comes, especially a cute guy comes, everybody notices, right? So
I think that's me.
Marshall and I were like friends, but like not necessarily in the same friend group. But I did call him Marshall Souffle was my name for him, and so
First time I heard that one.
after about maybe I say it was just a couple of months. He says he spent a whole semester there. Whatever. He opted to go back to Delran High School, and we didn't see each other again until we were both 21. And I was going to a singles group at Fellowship Alliance on Sunday nights, and one night he showed up. And after we were like, hey, I remember you, Marshall Souffle, and he remembered each other from Baptist High. Marshall said, can I have your number so that I could call you to see if there's ever any activities going on?
Activities.
And so he took my number, and that was honestly, a year later, we were getting married.
So did you leave Baptist High because you were being teased because of called Souffle, or like, you know what? I got to get away from here.
Bully.
Yes. The bully here that I ended up marrying. No, it was just a completely unique experience for me that I guess I just wasn't quite ready for at that time. And I feel like it seems like the Lord has shown us that he wasn't ready to have us together in a relationship at that time. So he prepared our lives in a different way.
Cool. Okay, so the next part we're going to do, a little segment, is called Would You Rather. So I have a hat here, and it is filled with Would You Rather questions. So I'm going to ask each of you a Would You Rather question, and then we're going to, see what it is. So we'll pick it out here. We'll go Theresa first. So your question, Theresa, is A, would you rather have permanent bad hair for the rest of your life, or B, have a permanent bad phone reception for the rest of your life?
Wow. Well, it's funny you should say that, because today I was thinking, I'm glad Bill said he had like over 40 people to interview. I'm glad he's choosing us in the earlier stages than the latter stages, because by then I probably will be completely gray. So hair, definitely, I'm a little, when it comes to my hair, I am. But you know what? Phone reception is so important to me because, with my kids and like Abby not living nearby, I would figure out what to do with my hair somehow, but phone reception would have to trump the good hair.
Okay.
Can I answer that one?
No, you got your own. You got your own.
I'd much rather have phone reception.
Okay, well, that's not your question.
No, my hair. I'd rather have hair.
Oh.
That's great. And a good phone reception.
For 24 hours, would you rather A, be stuck in a broken elevator, or B, stuck on a broken ski lift? That's yours, Marshall.
I couldn't handle it.
It's for me. This one's for me.
This one's for you.
Okay, because Theresa couldn't handle either one. So I guess I would say I'd rather be stuck on a broken elevator for 24 hours.
Right.
Because at least then I can sit, I can stand, I can relax, I can sleep without falling out of a ski lift.
Okay. Violet had a good point. She said, would I be by myself? And I was like, oh, that could change things with the bathroom and stuff in an elevator. That would be Wouldn't be good
Mhm.
if you were with a bunch
Right.
of people. But anyway, okay, cool. So then the next little section here is, since we're doing this for the church, so I figured, Theresa, how do you feel when your brother brings you up in a sermon?
Oh, I don't mind at all.
No?
I don't.
You're too nice.
And typically when he does, like, I mean, he doesn't really use me an awful lot as an illustration. I guess I haven't given him too much information or too much, what's the word I'm looking for? Material. So he doesn't find me interesting or whatever. But typically when he brings me up, it's more like something that we did as a family or something. And so it's usually like heartwarming. And then I'm just kind of like, oh, kind of thing.
Okay, so that goes right into my follow-up, which is, since they're Vince's words and they're not God inspired, are his stories 100% accurate about your family?
Vince, the Holy Spirit has indwelled Vince on a whole different level than he has indwelled most of us, in that Vince remembers things that the average person, I just feel like, would not remember. Right. And the Lord also has just brought things into his life, like crazy stories, like things that just don't happen to other people,
Right.
have truly happened to Vince.
Right.
And so you can believe Vince, and when he says it, you're kind of like, oh my goodness, like I never would have remembered that, but now that he said that. And also I just think the fact that Vince is honest with us about his like faults and all of his like shortcomings just makes everything else he says carry more integrity, because obviously if he's not going to lie or skim the truth on, you know, his faults, then. But no, the stories, my brother Leo, we used to tease and say he embellished, and my dad might say I embellished a little bit too.
They would say he's a good storyteller.
Vince, I would say that he's pretty accurate.
Okay, cool.
Bill, how many people can say that they were on an airplane, sitting in their seat, and asked by a flight attendant?
I don't know if you're supposed to tell. He gave it as an example. I guess it's okay.
There was an illustration at church that we need your assistance on getting someone out of the bathroom. I don't know. It's never happened to me.
Never happened to me.
Because he had his
Pastor Vince,
a police shirt on or something. They thought he was, you know, a first responder. So there he goes.
The one that would be trying to get out of the bathroom. That would be so we're gonna go with. So speaking of stories, and we're sticking with the church theme. So is there any books of the Bible that you would recommend during a tough time? Anything, verses, something, because a lot of people are going through a lot of stuff right now. So is there anything that you guys rely on either?
Well, I can tell you one of the things, and I guess it really is one of the ways that something that we've done differently since we've been in the corona. Are you thinking the same thing?
Probably.
It's just, and at Dylan's suggestion,
yes.
He asked if we could read 8 chapters of the New Testament together each night as a family, because you could get through it in 30 days. Right. Now we haven't done it always consecutively in 30, you know, but so that's what we've been doing. At most some nights. Point each night or most nights, and we'll each and Kevin sits with us. He doesn't read the chapters, but Kevin also sits with us, which is we're happy about that. And so we each just, you know, read a chapter, and the next person reads a chapter, and so on around the room. And so where it's not maybe a particular chapter, like it has just been a neat experience to do it as our smaller family, and just a reminder of like, how much, because now we're reading in the New Testament, so we're reading how much of the prophecy from the Old Testament has come to fruition, and just the way Jesus speaks to people. It's just an interesting.
It is, but even though I mean, obviously this is all in the Lord's timing, and so because we're going through the New Testament. In particular, which I know a lot of people turn to this often, at least I know I do, in, you know, Matthew, which we're through Matthew, so it shows you that we're moving along. Matthew in chapter 6, verse 25, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, or what you will wear. Is is it not more life important than food and the body more important than clothes? So, you know, when you think about what's happening right now, and the Lord just decided, okay, ultimately, I'm going to close all the stores. The only thing that's going to be open is the necessities, and you know, whether it just be food or building materials, whatever it might be. So, you know, he's obviously taking care of our food, just like he's taking care of the birds outside. That's something that I often do when I'm feeling down. Is I'll walk out of my office doors when I'm frustrated or having an anxiety issue. I'll look at the birds or the squirrels, or look up in the sky like Pastor Vince shared, and look at the clouds that he's created for us. And that's just a reminder there in Matthew. So, and that's something that we've read through various books, and the same message. So that's kind of what's
I love that.
we've been going through.
Cool. So we're in the home stretch now. So what can we pray for you for? Something that we can pray for you guys.
First thing that comes to mind, I would think you would think the same thing, would be our daughter. She's a nurse, and even though her main job has more recently become working in surgery, but because surgery is now only for elective surgery is no longer happening, and so ultimately what they've asked her, and what they're asking, of course, all nurses, are you going to be available? Can we use you on other floors during this time? And so we just pray for her safety. I was just sharing with her the other day how the Lord just has really worked in your life, and I think you're going to be an encouragement to some of these patients that are coming through there, just with her personality, but also the fact that, you know, she loves the Lord and she's going to care for them and treat them in a special way. But we just pray for her protection, because there's a very good possibility she's going to be right there in the midst of everything. So that would be the one. And she's not here with us, so we can only see her by video and by telephone, and we're learning all kinds of new technology lately to be able to communicate with her. So yes,
We'll definitely keep her in prayer.
that would be the first thing that comes to mind lately.
Okay. And is there, as we finish here, is there anything you want to tell the church family? This is your time to say anything to the church family. You know, keep it nice. No. I'm just
Yeah, I mean, we just can't say enough about our church family, obviously.
Absolutely.
And even just recently, Dylan was going to be involved in something at Liberty, which didn't happen, but he really wanted prayer for it leading
Right.
up to that. And so not only did he reach out to like some of his cousins and his uncles, but he reached out to people at Immanuel who he knew would pray for him. And I was sharing with my coworkers, and I was saying, this is just another time where I'm just so like raising your children, giving them a church family, and letting them see the importance of even when they go elsewhere, joining a church family and having that be a part of their life. Like, it's just a gift you can give to your kids, and we're just so grateful that our kids have had it with such a great family there at Immanuel, and we like feel the same way. We
Absolutely.
just feel, you know, so blessed by our friendships there. And even though Vince is my pastor, like, we just say all the time, we feel very spoiled to have Pastor Vince and Pastor Greg as our ministry leaders, and we are really blessed to have that.
One thing that comes to mind would be that I feel like our church is sort of unique, and I think it's because it starts at the top with Pastor Vince and Pastor Greg, how the young folks in the church, and we're no longer in that category, and the older folks, that how everyone kind of just works together and gets along. It's just incredible to hear, you know, some of the folks, for example, we'll hear from Dylan that you know, people are praying for him or sending him a card of encouragement at college, and just how the youth want to reach out to the seniors in the way that they can and minister to them. And so that's just neat to see in a church family, just that they're a family and that they're working together to support each other, especially during these times. And some other churches may not be experiencing that, but I know we do experience it at Immanuel. So we appreciate that of our Immanuel family.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining me, guys. It was real fun, and stay safe.
All
Do the
right.
same.
Yeah.
All right.
Terrific.
Thanks, guys.
Great talking to you, Bill.
Thanks,
Stay in
Bill.
touch.
Bye.